welcome to Adventures in Lollygagging and Friends. Dan's playing with something right now, but the rest of us will be playing Holler here in a minute as we are continuing our Savage Worlds campaign. This is Blasted Beauty is the plot point campaign for Holler. Appalachian folk horror pulpiness kind of going on. And we're starting a brand new act tonight as we've made it through 2 of the 10 acts thus far with 8 more to go. So should be fun. Also, everyone got an advance at the end of the last act, so that's something we get to hear. Some people didn't take that advance yet. I wonder if you can guess who. Don't worry, there are 4 people who have to introduce themselves before you, Bert. You got time. But yeah, that's where we're at. So why don't we go ahead, do some intros, say what it is you took, if you took something interesting or whatever. Even if you didn't take anything interesting, tell us what you took with your advance. And then we can get started. So, Chuck, you are up first with Double D.
I'm Double D. I took what did I take? I took Intimidate, that'll be scary stuff, and then I also took what was that other one? I took Stealth, so I'll be more sneaky like Cletus.
So we have 2 Appalachian ninjas.
I wouldn't go that far, but you're Appalachian Ninja. Appalachian Ninja Apprentice.
Okay, so you're the apprentice of Cletus, who's the younger brother.
Right?
Okay. All right.
He's the apprentice on punching real good.
So you got Intimidate too. What does Intimidate trigger off of? Like, is that smarts?
I think it's Spirit. Is it Spirit?
Okay, that makes more sense.
And I got a real lame Spirit score.
Really? Okay. All right. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay. Next up, we've got Douglas, played by Dan. Dan, tell us about Douglas and what you picked for your advance.
Everybody, Douglas is basically our woodsman character at this point, and he's going to be rolling just incredibly great today, exploding on every roll. You won't even believe it.
Didn't the last time we play, you actually rolled really well in Holland like 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
I remember that. And then you dodged Wednesday, and that's what it was. I remember now.
I'm saving it all for today. Okay. Come back and roll great again today.
Is this your only game this week? I'm not sure if you guys are.
It is my only game this week. So
okay, all right. We're gonna get in 3 times the rolls tonight, just so that we can see Dan's
wear it out.
Luck. Yeah.
And I picked Notice twice, so hopefully, since I'm kind of maybe going to be scouting a bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
for travel and things.
Skill. Yeah, very useful skill that is.
I'll maybe do good at it. And I already have stealth too, so I can stealth with the best one, except with the -2.
Right on. Yeah, and we will be in some wooded areas, I think, for the next, at least, I would guess, 2 sessions at least. So some notice and survival stuff might be coming into play. We'll see how it goes. Next up, we've got the original Appalachian Ninja. We got Cletus. Jeremy, tell us about your character and what you took for an advance.
Well, yeah, man, I'm Double D's big little brother, and I understand he's trying to get himself ninja-fied. Me, I'm trying to, get myself more fightified. And I can't quite hit as hard as he does. He's got those big old ham hands, but I am a mean old bastard, and I know how to get in the pieces that hurt a bunch. I took gouger. That lets me ignore penalties for called shots with melee fighting. So I can grab as many nipples or poke as many eyeballs or stomp as many shins as I want to.
I'm so excited that you actually got Gouger. I know you talked about it for a while. Very excited. Gouger is a talent unique to, it's from Holler specifically. Mm-hmm. So like if you're watching this and you play Savage Worlds, you don't know what it is, but it's a specific edge that you can take within Holler. Though honestly, I kind of want to bring it over into our Deadlands game too, in case Adam wants to take it, because I know he likes to get in the rough and tumble too, so he might like it.
That would be good.
That could be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Okay. And we have learned that your signature move is of maiming somebody, because that's what you do in a gouging fight. You usually maim, and you like to rip the nipples off people. It happens.
That's what good people do.
That's what it is. What good people do. Okay. Speaking of good people, I guess we have Melissa's character, who Yeah, but you're wanted for murder, so I don't know how good you really are. Let's see. Anyway, Melissa, tell us about Louisa and what she took.
Yeah, so she, as mentioned, is the holy roller of the group. Yes, she is wanted for murder, but in these parts, sometimes killing the right people gets you in trouble with the law, but it was worthwhile, as they say. Her health is very poor, so I definitely did not do anything that would advance like vigor or strength or agility, because that would just not go with her health. So instead, I did notice, because that seemed to make sense. And then I went off a little bit and I did athletics just because I need to be able to throw a knife decently well, and that D4 just wasn't cutting it. So
okay, you didn't dig into any more powers or anything, because I think you're the only arcane person in the group.
Yeah, I kind of left it there just because when I do need to have to throw a knife, like I said, that D4 was just not really cutting it. So
sure, okay, fair enough. Bert, are you ready? All right, tell us about Joe and tell us about what he took for an advance.
Howdy, I'm Joe. I'm a little strange. Not cousin where my family's from or anything. I just don't understand people so well. Understand cars and things that had gears a lot better. Here lately, I seem to have a newfound skill of sticking the pointy end of a knife well into somebody from a distance.
It's true.
Come in handy a few times. I don't know why the motorcycle gangs get such a bad rap. There's some nice people. There's some great people.
Yeah.
And I raised my spirit. D6 to D8.
Oh, okay.
We've been seeing some things lately.
You get another one too, right? Shouldn't you have another one? Oh no, you did.
You can only read. Yeah, I did an attribute.
Yeah. I can't remember the advancements. I gotta look at it again.
Yep.
Okay, fair enough. Arville Smote in the boys from County Hell became smitten with Joe in his
great
ability.
Bunch of guys. I'm sure they're real humanitarians.
I think Joe single-handedly convinced them to join the cause, or at least a very big favor down the road, which could be useful later on. Very cool. And then finally, we've got the kid of the group. We got Amian. I can't remember the last name, so I'm just gonna say Amian
Rown.
Amian Rown. What did he take?
Yeah, he found out that he had a bit of a singing voice, so I took performance because it seemed fitting for that.
Nice. I like that.
And
cool.
I like the skill monkey thing I've got going on. So
got a little bit of everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
You went to college, but you're still undecided and you haven't figured out. So you're just taking all these intro classes. It's basically what it's become.
Pretty much.
Okay. Very cool. So let's dive in. So last time, the last act was all about this Weaver Falls Fiddler Convention, which is up in the Great Craggy Mountains. You all were invited there. Actually, two of you got a specific invitation. Double D, Cletus, somehow people know you, and maybe from gouging circles, and you got specific token invites. The rest of you just happened to come across them, if you recall, because there was a horse with no rider that kind of showed up down in Ashdown, and you all were sent up here by LMA to see if you could somehow create like a network, some allies in your blossoming revolution against the big boys who oppress everybody throughout Holler. You spent 3 days here in total. You made some friends. Double D might have a wife in the future with the Midsummer Children. Mm-hmm. Let's see. Louisa made a friend with one of the possible wardens. We've already mentioned how Joe got in good with the boys from County Hell. Amian met a well-known traveling minstrel from I can't remember what it was called, Terrapin Corner, who took a liking to him. Cletus, you met a man named John Hively, who we'll get to in a second, but he kind of knew you a little bit, maybe from the gouging circles or some such. And then Douglas, I think, met a poet named Trini Hicks, I think, as well. So you guys got some friends, and not only that, but you managed to win over Vernalyn Cash, who was the organizer, and she has some influence across the Holler. So you actually ended up doing pretty well. The only downside is that last session, you when they were doing the main jamboree, a young boy by the name of Cecil came up and did this amazing rendition of a fiddler tune by a legendary fiddler named Jimmy Silver, who had died some time ago. Something felt strange about it. You tracked him back, kind of as he was acting really strange. Some of you thought he might be possessed. Eventually, you found him consorting with a demon. Demon wasn't being very violent or anything. It was kind of a peculiar situation. You killed the demon, which pissed Cecil off because you killed his friend Jimmy, and so he ran off into the night. You all got into a fight with some other demons, but you managed to win. And when you got back to the convention, just in time for Royce Whitaker, one of the big boys, and his men were kind of beating up the joint, and you all managed to save some people. And that was how the convention ended. So I think we're going to pick up almost not immediately after, but pretty close. As we're going to say we are, let's call it later that day, because that was like morning time. And we'll say maybe this is like late afternoon, evening, sun's going down. You all, maybe you got into a conversation with a fellow by the name of John Hively, I think, Cletus. And he told you all about a lead, since like you all were specifically looking for allies. He gave you a little story about the town of Gilmer, which was to the southwest of where you all were, also up in the Great Craggies, and how they, like a lot of the logging folk there, were kind of being forced out into this demonic infested forests and things, and a lot of people were dying, and people were getting very upset, and that might be a town, or a village I should say, worth visiting. So we're going to say that's where the group's headed next, because it's somewhat on your way back down to Ashdown, so a slight detour. So yeah, you're traveling on a bumpy dirt road from Weaver Falls to Gilmer. If you look at the map, it's not that far away. You can actually see I've already moved it a bit. So you guys still have the car. You have the jalopy still. Who's driving? Who drives the? Joe's driving. Okay.
Joe.
Yeah.
So Joe's behind the wheel. You all pass through.
Definitely not me.
You all pass through the town of Furpo, and that's probably where for John Hively kind of hops off, kind of bids you all adieu and good luck, in the Gilmer, in the Gilmer area, yeah. So you're traveling on the road. Now it gets dark, and again, it's not like when we say road, I do mean it's like a dirt path, not so much an actual paved road. So it's bumpy and somewhat uncomfortable, and you don't drive like extraordinarily fast. But as you're getting kind of close, you hear these roars suddenly in the distance. Like you can't see the sun anymore. Like the little bits that would have peeked through the otherness anyway. It's almost dark now. You got your headlights on, and you hear the roar. These roars in the distance that are suddenly growing increasingly loud, and immediately, two pairs of headlights crest over a hill just in front of you, and side by side you see two other jalopies kind of in this drag weight race, kind of bumping into each other, grinding a little bit. One of them slams into the other, and you can see one of the cars goes flipping twice, 3 times, flying through the air, and smashes down at the base of this enormous oak tree. And then the other one starts to kind of skid and swerve a bit. Joe, why don't you go ahead and roll a driving roll at -2. As you try, as like it's right on the same path as you, these two cars flailing about, and you're doing everything you can to kind of keep people from
Joe's not even sweating it. It's
yeah.
like,
Very simply, very easily, you kind of hit the brakes a little bit, slow down, kind of curve off to the side, and you watch as both of these cars go flying off in different directions on the side of the road. One of them just sort of slows down into a ditch, but the other one smashes heavily into this tree. And as you guys are like taking stock, making sure everyone's okay, you look behind you and you can see these two big old muscular dudes getting out on opposite sides of the road. They're behind your car now. You're kind of looking back a bit, and you can see they're screaming at each other something fierce, and they look like they're about to get into one hell of a fist fight. One of them you can see is just bleeding profusely, the one that like smashed into the tree, and the other one just got some cuts and bruises.
Joe's absolutely not recognizing that human beings got hurt. He's just going, I'm a leaf on the wind, man. Just a leaf on the wind.
Fair enough. So do you all keep going then? Do you stop? What do you want to do?
Maybe we should not stop. People might get hurt and stuff, you know. Find out they're going, like, are they just raiding, running? What are they running from? Should we run into?
Yeah, they might just
Stop.
be rubbing.
Stop.
Yeah,
They might have some moonshine.
I like that.
Me
Maybe
too.
they were having a good time. Stopped.
Oh, okay. If you think that's the thing to do, okay.
Okay, so Joe, you pull the car over on the side, keep half on the dirt path, half off. You all pop out of the car, pile on out like it's a clown car, all 6 of you, and you get a little closer. And yeah, they're both like, these are both fairly big dudes. There's kind of like, in height wise, they're probably as big as like Cletus and Double D, but you can tell that they're fairly muscular looking goon types, and they're screaming something fierce. And as you get a little closer, and like you can see there's light that's kind of coming from some of the crashes, but it's not perfect. But you notice that they look exactly alike. They seem to be twins. And one of them's, like, you can see this huge, horrific cut kind of right across the forehead, just pouring blood down, and this kind of like moving about here and there and getting ready to throw blows, or like, God dang it, Vernon, I told you you're not supposed to. Man, what's wrong with you? You don't know how to drive. I don't know how to drive, Vernon. You don't know how to drive. You're the one whose jalop is over there up against a tree, man. Don't you know you ain't supposed to drive up a tree, man? You bump into my car once more, I'm going to bump into you. And then you see they just kind of get up into each other's faces now. You guys want to...
Hey now, knock it out. I ain't going to like that.
And they both like almost... And in like this perfect synchronous moment, they both kind of turn. What'd you say?
I said your mama ain't gonna like you two fighting like that. Knock it off.
Okay. Roll persuasion, or you just got intimidation. If you want to take intimidation, that's fine. Either way, though, it'll be at -2, though.
Okay, so
it's up to you. Which
this
one
is
you
great.
want to pick.
Everything's great.
Got this.
Oh, it's the same no matter what. All right, I'm gonna roll intimidation. That's
Okay.
a D4 and a D6, and you said it's a -2.
Yeah. We're letting people roll physical dice now too.
Yeah.
I got a 0. Well, no, I got a -1. I rolled 2 ones.
Oh my gosh.
Let me reset some bennies. By the way, I totally forgot. Do you want to benny that? Try that.
Is
again.
it
Can you
rolling
benny a
2
double
ones
one?
a critical?
Yeah.
Oh,
that's
it's a critical fail? Oh, I didn't even hear that. My bad.
Yeah.
Well then.
I done goofed.
Oops.
So as they both turn to look at you and they say, "What did you say?" and you say something about their mama, they both kind of look at each other, and then they look at you, and they throw a punch at you.
Oh god.
So yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and like, you don't talk about our mama. As let's see, I got this. Let me look it up. I also have my physical dice up. Oh boy. I didn't know
Well,
you needed a D20 in
You have
these.
successful stopped them from fighting each other. So
I did.
Yeah. Mission accomplished.
Success at a cost.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a 5. I don't know. What's your parry?
8.
Yeah. So like one of them, like you could see one of them just the one that's bleeding just completely whiffs the punch, but the second one kind of comes at and lands. But you manage to take your forearm and kind of like brush it off to the side, and you kind of parry it a bit. Like, you don't talk about our mama like that. You don't know her. Who do you think you are, man? Put your
But now you
damn
done
car on the
something,
road.
bitches.
Go ahead.
You done almost killed us, and I ain't like that much. You been gonna hurt Joe Jalopy, and if Joe he's gonna kill you too. Now shut up. I was just trying to separate you.
We almost killed you. You almost killed us. Putting your damn car in the middle of the road. Don't you know you don't put the car in the middle of the road, especially at night. You come over the hill like that, and then you go talking about our mama like that.
You two dummies done right side by side. They ain't got no chariots been hurt right now. Knock it off. Apologize to Joe.
Wait, what? Which one of you, Joe? Which
I
one of
was
you were
driving
driving?
safely on my side of the road.
You were driving safely on your side of the road. You were driving
That's
safely
right.
on your side of the road.
Yes,
And,
sir. Yes, sir.
One of them's like getting right up in Joe's face. The one that's not bleeding. is,
Joe
like,
pulls
right
a
up in his
knife
face.
before he gets more than a step closer.
Oh,
I
it's
told
like
you,
that
Joe, kill
now.
you.
It's like that now. Okay. You
I
tried to
will
kill
gut
us
you
with
like
a
a
car. Now
pig,
you try to
sir.
cut us with a knife.
You know what, man? It's a real some bitch that them trees are so sneaky out here. I hear the trees around this part, they actually uproot themselves, put themselves in the most bullshit places possible just to mess with good racers like you. It's true. I heard it.
Roll a persuasion test, Cletus. Oh, God. All right. Dear God. Like,
It's true.
One of
I
them.
heard it.
the one of them that's just got the cuts and bruises, but not the terrible bleeding from the forehead, he kind of turns like, you know, that's true, man. I heard that too. I heard them trees, man, especially in these parts, man. They get up and they start moving around and stuff, you know, and they talk to one another and they shout and stuff like that. And like, I mean, you're right about that. Yeah, that's probably what it was, man. That's probably what it was right there.
Yeah, man.
Mm-hmm.
And
That's
my
right.
brother over there, he just, you know, I was always a bit of an asshole growing up, so mama would yell at us and he had to tell me to stop being stupid. So, you know.
That's your brother right there? That's my brother
Yeah.
right here. Oh, damn.
Well, the hell of it, man. We both got brothers.
That's true, we
Hey,
do.
that's so neat.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I like you a lot better than I like your brother. You seem kind of mean. You kind of nice, man. You smart too, man. You know about trees and
I like trees. I like climbing.
Yeah. You like climbing? Okay.
Hell yeah.
Okay. And as you're talking, the guy who's got that big old gush, and he's just like, yeah, I know what you're talking about. He just falls over onto the ground from blood loss.
I think we need some help for a reason.
You just
And so you see the guy who's talking, oh, Vernon, man, get up. And he kind of slides down to the ground. Come on, boy, wake up. And he's like, uh-oh. Vernon?
Oh, he's
man.
At this point, Louisa will get out of the car, be like, "Are you boys done with your bickering? Let's see if I can do some healing here."
Oh, yes, ma'am, that'd be nice. My brother Vernon seems to, I don't know, he's a very gentle man. And sometimes he has difficulty with gravity, and he's falling down on the ground here.
I can see that those cars weren't meant to run into trees, but I think we covered that ground already. And so I'm not going to do...
That tree, ma'am, just kind of swooped on out, just like that.
She
Right in
is
the darkness.
correct about that.
Yeah, go ahead and roll. You can roll a heal test.
This is non-magical healing, just regular healing.
That's fine.
10.
That's fine. Oh, geez, with a 10. Yeah, you patch him up good. You can tell. I mean, whatever. Like he probably took a pretty bad head wound. He's gonna need probably some stitches up there, but you're able to kind of patch it up, kind of close it down, and
I'm gonna
essentially
give the
kind of
whole make sure he doesn't sleep, keep
Mhm.
him awake, like kind of run through that.
And he as he kind of like comes to from you doing that, Vernon, man, Vernon, where you at? I had an angel that was just talking to me and brought me back. Well, there she is right there. And he kind of points right up at Louisa. I didn't know angels were. Thank you, angel. Nah.
Name's just Louisa, sir.
You hear that, Vernon? The angel's name's Louisa. Vernon, that ain't no angel. It's just a kind citizen. Stop on by and helped you out because you ran your damn car into a moving tree. That's why. Don't you remember nothing? He's like, oh, I don't seem to remember no moving tree, but I don't really remember.
That's how they get you.
That is true. I did hear them boogeyman trees. They kind of like hop out right from the shade like that. So, whew. Well, I'm glad no one got hurt at least. And then he kind of starts to droop back down to the ground. People can help him up. Oh man. And so, Fernan and Vernon, Those are the names of these guys.
Love
Vernon
it.
is the one who's in decent health. Vernon's the one whose head is patched. So Vernon kind of looks at you. He says, "So where you all headed this eve?"
We're going on down to Gilmer.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we from Gilmer. Okay. Yeah. What business bring you there?
Fighting.
Fighting? Oh man, you.
I mean, them, yeah, me, kind of, no.
I mean, like gouging circles. Man, we ain't got no good gouging circles down there, man. You want to go about the
Nah.
Stumptown's a pretty good place too.
Yeah, heard about Stumptown. That sounded like a good bit of fun.
Yeah, Vernon and I, we get in the circle sometime too. Yeah, get a little rough.
Cletus done in the circle up north. He done just pull something like a nipple off. Just you nipple gone.
That was you. I heard
That's
about
him.
that. Yeah, man. I heard about that. Just so happened at that damn fiddler convention, some fella wandering around ain't no nipple on right now.
Yeah, he's the one who looks like his mama had relations with the grizzly.
Well, there are a lot of people who look like that. Mama's had relations with a grizzly around here, man. It's one of them places, you know.
That's true.
Yeah.
Well, I suppose normally we're supposed to be a little bit more hush hush, but it's clear you two are like good, upstanding folk.
Yeah, it's true.
We kind of got word that Gilmer's a real son bitch.
Well, I mean, the town. Well, calling it a town's kind of generous. I mean, we just want to do some logging, get some corn, go back to coal. But I don't know, man. There's some weird stuff going around there, man. Everyone's all sick and stuff and tired all the time, you know. And you hear like Vernon from below say, "I am kind of sleepy. I could definitely take a nap. Hey,
No,
Angel,
no.
Louisa, can I take a nap?"
No naps for you.
Okay. And then Vernon
want me
kind
to
of
slap
keeps
him?
going. What's that?
I could do it in a way that wouldn't hurt him. I'm not so sure.
Maybe not
could
you.
Manage the light slap there.
All right.
Well, I mean, yeah, man. They're, I don't know, like a sickness or something, man. Everyone's kind of tired, and I don't know what's going on there. I mean, and that Whitaker boy even shut down production, and that never happens, man. That's why we were bored, man. We want something else to do, you know. Can't sit around and do nothing. So yeah, we just figured we'd do a little racing just for fun, you know, get the blood moving.
Man,
But,
that sounds like a good idea. Who's a good person that's kind of like you on the in on things around there?
On the in on things? Well, I mean, let's see. You got old Tolliver, man. He's cool. He's a cool guy. He checks the horses and such. He's a nice fella. And then, well, I mean, I imagine Miss Louisa here might be able to talk to Selma. She's the granny woman. She's trying to figure out what's wrong with everybody, you know. So she's kind of angry, man. She said some very mean things to me when we were talking to her earlier, but it was probably, you know, it was probably deserved. It was probably.
I mean, that happens with granny woman. Like I knew a lady named Mama, and she had to set me straight more often than not, but she's usually right.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, but I mean, there ain't no like, you know, not person in charge or nothing like that. But I mean, old Thomas, man, Tommy Robb, man, rest in peace. He was a good dude, man. I liked him a lot. But yeah, he got killed recently by a demon. You know, it's going around. You know, now. Old Whitaker, man, he don't shut down for demon attacks, but he shuts down when people get tired and don't seem to want to work much.
Y'all got them water demons or the bat demons?
Oh, man, we got all sorts of different kinds, man. We got some like forest demons and things like that. I mean, Vernon and I are, you know, we don't really go kind of messing around too much, but we hear him every now and then in the dark and everything. Stay in a group. Don't go wandering off. You're taking a one, you're taking a two. Make sure you bring a friend. But assist.
That's true.
Yep.
As you can see, we travel in numbers.
Maybe you make it a 4.
Yeah. He like looks like, what? Huh? Well, I mean, y'all want to give us a hand with these the lobby's there. We can kind of go back with you, kind of show you around and such, if you want.
All right, one of you wants to steer, help push it up out of that spot.
Yeah. I mean, I think Vernon's ain't looking too good. It's like, but I mean, parts, you know.
If that fella over there, the one with the knife and all, he's a whiz with parts.
I'm sorry about getting all angry and such.
Still got the knife out.
you put that away, fella, man. I ain't gonna hurt you. Don't worry, man. We all friends now. Yeah, man. Okay.
He's just protective of his car.
Yeah. I understand that. I respect that. It's pretty nice one you got there, man. That's a pretty nice car you got there.
Hey, I wasn't insulting your mama or nothing. I was just saying she wouldn't be happy to see your two boys fighting.
Yeah. I mean, that sounds right, but I don't know, man. Mama used to, she used to come to all our fights, and especially the ones when we were fighting each other. She'd be hooting and hollering from the crowd louder than anybody else, so I don't know. Yeah, we appreciate that, though. I appreciate what you did for Fernan, too, man. You all ever in Holler Cole... Wait, that's not right. Well, y'all ever in Cole Holler, man, you just, just mention our names, man. They'll be nice to you, hand around. One good turn deserves another.
I'll take that. We'll get them cars out.
Okay. And so, yeah, we'll say you all go ahead and give them a hand, getting the car out, and sort of salvaging what you can from the other. It takes a little time. Fernan is not doing all that well, but he's staying awake. Someone's kind of slapping him or something every time he starts to doze, and Fernan looks none the worse for wear. Again, just scrapes, bruises, nothing too bad.
If everybody else is busy, I might do a little bit of magical healing. If
Sure.
his brother is not going to
Like
notice.
we get his brother pulled away to deal with the car.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So-
I can do a little. I'm gonna have you look at me for a second while Louise is checking you out.
Well, why am I looking at? Oh man, you got a nice beard, man. That's real nice. You use like oil or something? I had a friend. Yeah, I had a friend who used to just get a big old wad of butter and just kind of smother it all in there and stuff.
Yeah, but that kind of gets a little funny after a while.
Yeah, and you get ants and stuff too. And it ain't friendly, but it looks nice shine.
Combing in there.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So that removes a wound.
Okay, and so you'll see it'll kind of start stitching up here and there. He's still kind of a little woozy, but you can tell that this is definitely doesn't look as bad as it. You might be able to explain that away as maybe the blood was not there. It was kind of covering up.
Oh yeah, all that blood made that wound look way worse than it was.
Oh, look at that! I'm feeling better, Vernon. No, you ain't. Shut up. All right. Anyhow. Okay. Well, go ahead and I'll head back. I can introduce you to some folks and stuff. It ain't a particularly happening place. It's just a bunch of hovels and such, and folk working probably harder than they need to. But I mean, not now. But happy. Yeah, we can take you the rest of the way. No problem.
We don't judge.
Okay. So yeah, you kind of together. You kind of put some sort of mini caravan together and start heading back to Gilmer. It's not that far away. It's maybe another 20 minutes or so driving at this, 25, something like that. And yeah, you arrive. It's nighttime by the time you get there, and there's a couple fires and such. I think I actually put up a scene set for you all, Gilmer. I've been playing around with Midjourney a lot, so. But yeah, you arrive nighttime. It's mostly, the village itself is like these two semicircles of what looks like a bunch of different shacks that have been kind of interconnected here and there. Some of them got this rusted old tin roofs. Others just they're thatched straw, real simple things here and there. You can tell in the middle of it all, there's this kind of rickety pulpit, and you can see there's even a gallows that's been set up. And you as you're kind of maneuvering around, getting to the cars out of the way, then getting out of the cars, are kind of feeling that's where they do the Sunday morning preaching. But then sometimes if someone does something that Whitaker didn't like, well, man, he just hang him, you know, and that'd be that. And then you can see that there's like this well at the edge of the village, like that stables are kind of nearby. You can see there's a couple horses in there. They look pretty tired too, but there's a couple horses there as well. There's a bunch of other people that are kind of, you know, lingering about here or there. Most of them are like at the entrances to their hovels, like either they're out on a porch, if there is a porch, or they're just kind of sitting around in the ground outside, or overturned bucket or something like that. All of them, though, as you're like watching, they have they definitely have like this sort of slope back quality to them. They're all kind of leaning over, and they're not old necessarily, but they all kind of have this sort of like they're tired and worn quality to them. Except for one dude who you see like just skipping back and forth, probably like, you know, teenager. He's just sort of skipping between one. You can see he's just talking a mile a minute. And Vernon's like, man, that boy just won't shut the hell up, man. That right there is Percy Ray Bunch. And he's going to tell you who he is, in case you didn't know. And he's just all super happy because that son of a bitch, for the first time in his life, cut down a tree. And granted, it was a very big tree, and that is something to be proud of. But you act like you're in a town filled with a bunch of loggers, man. Everyone here cuts down trees. What you talking about? But no, he can tell you. He can tell you like it's the greatest thing, like he's some sort of magical genius now, whatever. Anyway, as you can tell, the rest of us are kind of sick and tired of it, and you can see all of like these different people are just kind of shooing him away and stuff whenever he tries to talk. You can see that there's like this woman with this little child that's kind of shuffling over towards the well, and you can hear like the horses by the stables, and they're like, well, this is Gilmer in all his glory. I'm gonna go ahead and get Fernan settled, but if you need anything, we are the 6th hovel down there. That's where we're staying. If you want to talk to old Tolliver, he's in the stables probably. And Granny Selma, if you want to talk to her, she right there. You can see where those animals are hanging down from the rafters there. Yeah, that's her place right there.
All right, man. Thank you so much. You've been just hospitable.
Oh, it's a little pleasure to meet y'all. And you come on running whenever you need something. You just let us know. We're around here in case you need something.
Sure, he gets a little extra water.
Man, why gotta say that in front of him? Now he's gonna think he's like, I gotta wait on him hand and foot. Come on.
Just a little.
Fine, I'll give him just a little. They kind of wander off. So yeah, what do you guys want to do?
Guess we got some people to talk to.
Yeah, man.
I am clearly going
That's
to go
not
have a
necessarily
conversation
better
with
thing.
Granny Selma if anyone else wants to join.
Yeah, I
Okay.
always love hanging out with the granny woman.
What did you say there?
Sometimes she
Bert?
gives us candy.
Mm.
When you said you got people to talk to, I said it's not always a good thing.
That's fair. That's it. So Louisa and Cletus, I think they said they're going to see Granny Selma. How about the rest of y'all?
I'm gonna go see Granny.
Okay.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
I'll tag along to see Granny.
Everybody's
has peppermints.
okay. Everybody's going to Granny.
Maybe we should just get ourselves some Werther's originals.
Okay.
All right.
So,
On me over.
the 6 of you head on over to this hovel. Like I said, you can see that there's some animals kind of hanging down here and there. Some of them, it looks like they're just probably rabbits or some such. She's just sort of either A, gonna cook, or B, maybe some Harris Pickin or something like that. You're not sure. But you kind of knock on the door a little bit, and she comes on out, and you can tell she's got this like apron on that's just sort of smothered in all sorts of different colorful goo. You're not sure what exactly. Could be soil, could be herb bits. But you get this waft of like kind of different scents coming from the inside, like something's cooking, or maybe she's got some fragrant flowers and pots there. But she looks at you all, and they call her a granny woman, but she's probably, she maybe in her 40s or so, but you can see kind of big old round face, but dark rings under her eyes, hair kind of all messled. She opens the door, and she sees a lot of you, and she's like, now what the hell did I do to deserve this? What do y'all want?
Just a social call, ma'am. We're from out of town, and the twins said that you might be someone that we could just take a moment of time and just have a little chat with.
Do I look like a woman who has a moment of time to just do some socializing and chatting? I got things to do. You might be out of town, you might not have heard, but there's a sickness running around this place, and these people need my help, and I'm busy trying to attend to it. So if you need like a scratch fixed or something like that, you all look to be in relative good health. I don't think you need me right now.
Oh, I've generally got all that covered for this group, but we've got 6 of us with good pairs of hands here. We can help you out with whatever you got going on, and maybe we can do some talking while we're working.
I don't much need hands. I need brains, and I'm not sure, looking at y'all, that is in abundance in your group.
That ain't me.
We put all of our heads together, and 2 heads are better than 1, and maybe 6 heads are better than 2.
Quantity over quality, huh?
Yes, ma'am.
Roll a persuasion test.
Oh dear.
I feel like our collective smarts are not doing Louisa a favor here.
Hey, got a raise. That's not a raise, but explode. That's a 9.
That is a raise. 4 is pass. 8 would be a raise. So yeah, that's a raise. She says, "Okay, fine. I'll give you 10 minutes. You said you talked to the twins. Well, they ain't. Yeah, I know that they are sweet brothers and whatnot, but I don't think they have half a brain between them. But come on in. Not that a ton of space. Now. Even less now. Okay, I like this one. This one's got a... Okay, all right. So what are y'all doing here? What do y'all want? What do y'all need? Let's go."
And so we're inside now with the door closed?
Yeah. You look around, and it's exactly what you would expect like a granny woman's place to look like. There's pots on the shelves that are kind of rickety but still in good shape. You can see what looks like jars of various ingredients. You can tell she's got her own little workbench out where she's going through various poultices and things, trying to mess around with stuff. And you can tell she's working on something. Like she's in the process, and she's like sweating and kind of much like all the other folks that you see outside. She's kind of moving with a certain sort of lethargy.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Those sons of nonsense you were talking about, we're going all about seeing what we can do to help folks out and take care of whatever situations are coming up with them.
Well, I am currently trying to decipher exactly what is ailing the folks around here. I'm sure that even they probably told you there is a kind of a wash of something, some sort of sickness. I looked into a bunch of different things, thought it might be rats down the well, people drinking the water, getting sick about something. Nope. Demonic corruption. Yeah, we got some demons out in the woods and such, but I don't think so. I don't think that's what it is. Could be. Possible. I mean, demons do all sorts of weird things from time to time, but if I had to put my money on it, not that I have any, I think folks been hexed.
I can do that. Makes sense to me.
Oh, you confirm?
Now, who be doing
hexing?
me?
Well,
I'm saying I think you're right. Ain't no need to be rude about it. We're talking. I agreeing. I'm
coming to my home while I'm busy. Taking
Listen
my
here,
time.
you old bag of leather. I will wrap you up and dry you out. You better start being nice.
Now we are here to
pick up one of her plants and she will throw it at Double D right in his face.
I would like to try and diffuse the situation if it's possible.
Oh yeah, she's gonna. This will happen, and then you can roll that to see if you can keep him from getting thrown out. That's a 7 for a throw. This is a throw, so I think that'll hit.
Mm-hmm.
We'll say.
What is that against?
It's a 10 of 4.
It's a 10 of 4.
Oh,
so
it's
7.
yeah.
So it's 5 points of damage. I don't think it breaks anything. So you guys watch as she just picks up a pot, throws it at Double D. It smashes against his face, and you can see all sorts of like soil and like little brown pieces of herbs just start falling down to the ground. And she looks like her face has gone bright red. You can see she's about ready to uncork a scream. But Joe, you were going to try to defuse. What do you want to do?
Yeah, you were mentioning all these things that were boiling and kind of cooking around.
Mm-hmm.
Joe is kind of he's pretty good with being a survivalist and all, knowing what herbs and such could potentially help things. So like just sniffing the air, can I kind of tell what she's got brewing?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right.
Yeah, go ahead and do I don't know, you can do like a folklore maybe.
Survival, that wouldn't help.
Survival, I'll take.
No,
Yeah,
the
survival.
plants and herbs. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. Oof. I really want her to like us, so I'm gonna spend a Benny on that. Oh, come on. Oh, there we go.
Hey.
Ooh.
All right.
So I'll stop and I'll sniff the air and I'll say, "Oh, you got some, this and that brewing. Ain't that good for that kind of thing?"
And she you can see she's. And when you mention what she's kind of got cooking up over there, she kind of takes a second glance at you. Well, maybe there is someone around in this group who's got brains. I'll tell you what. You can stay. The lady can stay. But someone better take this big old ugly bear out of my damn hovel before I go ahead and start putting some of my own type of hex on him. All right? Get him on out. This man doesn't know no manners.
That's right. But you know what? That raises a good point. Usually a hexen comes because somebody's pissed off about what happened. So like when did all this start and what had happened right around the time this started or just before?
I would be happy to answer that question once that son of a bitch is out of my damn house.
All right, I'll go. Be outside in the fresh air ain't stink so bad.
Oh no, I'm sure it's gonna stink because you out there.
Nothing stinking here but your upper lip all day. You need to brush that mustache. Step out.
You could toss some water up under them pits there.
She'll shout out like, "At least I still got some hair on my head," as the door closes. Because like Double D's bald, right? Double D's bald. So.
He's darn proud of him.
I like that he's got the Homer hair, maybe.
Homer comb.
Does anyone go? Lady, she done braided it.
Does anyone go? Right. Oh, that's right. Your lady friend. She put she braided the 3 hairs on your head. Does anyone go with Double D, or is he out by himself?
I mean, I don't want to leave anybody outside by themselves.
Okay. All right.
Plus, so maybe I can do a little noticing outside.
All right. So Dogless, Double D, you go outside. The rest of you stay in there. And she turns to you, Cletus and Joe, and she says, "Now, to answer your question, I'm sorry, but that fella just rubbed me the wrong way. Who comes into a granny woman's home and acts so disrespectfully? As completely unbelievable. I'm gonna spread some word across the dang network, and any granny woman from here all the way over Cussfoot is gonna know about that boy right there. And he ever need anything, I don't care what it is. Poultice for this, poultice for that, some sort of remedy for that bald spot he got on his head. He ain't getting it. No one is ever going to serve that son of a bitch again."
Yeah, I mean, so that's my fault.
Spears.
Go ahead, Cletus.
I took all the charm in the family, but for what it's worth, he's done a good turn for Mama. And
you're related to that thing?
Yeah. I took all the looks too.
And something that we might want to see.
She chuckles. She's like,
at the end of all this, maybe he is generally not known for the words that come out of his mouth. He is generally more known for the actions that he does on behalf of others. So maybe wait till all this is squared at the end, and then see if kind of where the balance sheet ledges out, and maybe we can keep that hostility here.
But
I'll leave it to your judgment by the end.
He's punched Demon's face clean off to save a kid. She got the right.
Roll a persuasion test at -2. This is for the fate of Double D as Granny Woman's. So this is on Cletus.
No. Well, we can put that on Louisa, right? We don't have to put that on me.
It's on Cletus. You could take a +1 from Louisa helping though.
Okay, so it's -1 still.
-1 still. This is for the fate of
Do you
Double
still have
D
leftover
amongst the
pennies in
Granny
case
Woman
you're sure?
network of Holler.
Still got a 4.
Okay. I'll consider it. We'll see how things fare out here. If he ends up being useful, keep my mouth shut about his lack of courtesy. But if he ends up in any way, shape, or form making things more difficult for me and the folks here, oh, I'm gonna let them all know. I'm gonna let every last one.
It may be. I don't know if it's happened to other people, but it might be that he's haunted, but only in the tongue.
Boy, what are you talking? I don't know if you charming or stupid.
Little
Don't
both.
answer that. Yeah, that's probably right. Anyhow,
And Louisa sort of looks at Cletus like it's not a mean statement. It's just a little of both, right?
Cletus agrees probably. So she looks over at y'all and says, "Now to answer your question, my suspicion is that the hex is probably originating from them witches up in Word. It's a couple miles northeast of here. They more than likely are doing something up there. What do y'all know about about witches?" Kind of looks at y'all. Anybody who would like roll an occult or a folklore?
That's neither one of which Louisa knows much of.
I think you do have a cult though. I think you and Amian are the only ones with a cult because I was checking skill down earlier. Please don't know nothing.
I hear they
Oh,
eat
Amian.
children.
Okay. It looks like Amian knows a decent amount. Amian, you would know, I would say, you know a couple things. I mean, you would know some. Did you roll a cult or did you roll folklore? You rolled folklore?
I did folklore.
Okay.
Is it better to do one or the other?
No, it's just kind of a slightly different flavoring of the info is all. So
Okay.
I mean, you'd know that there's the story is like, and she can kind of, maybe Amian answers some of this, and she kind of like corrects him here and there as he's kind of telling various stories. But the idea is that, well, first of all, Weird itself is you would know is a matriarchal village, and it's populated only by older women. And the specifics of which is that they do so because they want to pool their knowledge in like herbalism and medicine and all sorts of stuff. Now that's what most people probably would know. That's what, like, anyone who just got a pass on like a folklore, like that's what you could get. Amian, however, you've heard stories about something called the walk. Like that's the kind of the phrase, the walk. And most folks think it's just like this foolish old wives' tale. But some people regard it with a certain amount of reverence and believe it to be true. And basically what it means is that witches, as they are in this setting, are old granny women who granny women don't die. They just, at some point, they undertake the walk and they kind of travel off into the wilderness. And they undergo this transformation, like a literally physical transformation, and are reborn as witches. And they live in these remote villages. And Weird, W-Y-R-D, is one of these. Like, that's the most famous anyway. And there's other people, and I'll say you rolled so well, some even say that Weird can actually magically transport itself across the landscape.
Ooh.
So she says, yeah, I would, I don't know, like, I dealt with some, like, demonic infestation. You know, I'll go through normal processes and such to kind of root that out, and that didn't work. I deal with just normal sickness, you know, something with the, foul dead creatures kind of infesting things, and that didn't work, you know. So, I mean, process of elimination. And women up there, man, that coven, they have hexed us for reasons unknown.
Do they ever like cut deals or work with people? Ever? Do you know? Do they like barter for stuff or?
I mean, they're reclusive, but I would imagine. I mean, I can't say I have any personal experience with it, but I would imagine they need stuff too. So they probably exchange some things here and there, information, special poultices, herbal remedies that granny women's can't concoct. Those types of things, and in exchange for tasks, I'm sure, that they can't perform themselves. But not many folks want to go messing around witches. They make folks uncomfortable.
Well, I mean, if you're saying they're basically just like, super grainy women, that don't sound so bad.
They were. Think you don't understand what the word transformation means.
I don't.
They don't look quite right no more from my gathering.
I mean, I'm used to people don't look quite right. I mean, you saw my brother. That ain't no big deal.
Oh, he's a beautiful peach compared to what a witch looks like after transformation.
But I have to ask though, what happened here that would make the witches wanna put a hex here in Gilmer?
That is a great question. One to which I do not have an answer.
Well, more importantly, it seems to be the whole town. Kind of hard for a whole town to piss somebody off. I mean, have y'all been building or expanding or something? Maybe you muddied up, or
we've been doing whatever is old that son of a bitch Royce Whitaker's told us to do. Now, he's been pushing the boys further out into the forest, and they should probably be going. I mean, like I said, the demonic infestation was certainly a reasonable conclusion to work with, and that's because there are demons out in them woods. And some of the boys, well, they got taken out here and there. That didn't slow Whitaker down, though. Not at all. It wasn't until there was this threat of some kind of sickness maybe spreading to some of his company boys that he's decided to stop up shop here. Maybe something with that. That's all I know. The rest of us around here, man, they're just people, just folk, just doing what they can to get by. Nothing more than that.
Were the people out in the forest the first ones to get infested or affected by the sickness?
I mean, everyone kind of gets it in a different way, I mean, I'm tired and I don't really go out logging. I can feel it probably in me. Your boys, Vernon and Fernan, I mean, they say they're logging, but I ain't ever heard that they're good at it. And then there's other folks around here, some of the children, some of the wives and such don't go off. They reported feeling tired too, so that's why I thought it might be the well, might be the water. But it ain't.
Well, wonder what sort of things they like. Because I imagine if they're, a little bit different, transformative.
That's a big word for you. I'm proud of you.
It is, yeah. I'm proud of myself too. If we was to show up, like, we probably shouldn't show up empty-handed.
Well, you show up, I don't know what's going to happen. People don't just go wandering up and visiting that place. Not that I know of, anyway. Well, you head on up there. You might want to be careful, is what I'm saying. And keep that hot-headed brother of yours. He can threaten me all he wants, man. He threatens a coven of witches. A bald head ain't gonna be the thing he worries about most. Liable to turn him inside out. And I mean that literally.
Okay. I'm just
We
going to
were
some
looking for
cornbread
this,
then.
like, we were looking for these witches. Is there anything to look out for that you would know of?
Well,
Like
I
any way
know
that we
they're
would know we're getting close?
I know their town, their village. That's ways to the northeast of here. I don't know, 5-6 miles or so, maybe something like that. There's a you get kind of close to this really dense, thick, thicket. Somewhere back behind there. It ain't the most glamorous thing in the world, but be careful when you poke around them places. Them women are powerful, something fierce. If they're friendly to you, they can be a powerful friend. But if you ain't friendly to them, they can be a powerful enemy.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Now, if you don't mind, she starts, I really gotta get some more work done before I take a nap for the night, if you don't mind. I'm sure your friends, Vernon and Fern, can find you a place to crash if you need it, but I got work to attend to, if that's all right with y'all.
If I might ask a question, if you're so sure, and it sounds like it's good thinking, but if you're so sure that they've been cursed and all, I kind of pointed all the pot, everything that's boiling and being made. And no disrespect meaning, but how do you think this is possible to help?
Well, I mean, maybe slow down some of the symptoms or such until I can figure something else out. And I had in my mind maybe I'll take a walk on up there. Not the walk, but a walk up there. Maybe I can arms wide open, convince them otherwise. But I have a few tricks up my sleeves too. And she kind of looks at y'all. Something I don't necessarily speak about in polite company, or impolite as it be. But there's a few tricks I might be able to uncover that could help. That is, if I can get some time and some peace and quiet to get back to my
Say no more.
work.
I walk out the door.
Hang on. And she kind of reaches down and she's like, here you go. You were a good boy right there. And she kind of hands over this tiny little piece of something like homemade hard candy or something like that.
Exactly.
She kind of, and yeah, you too, come here, you big, and she kind of hands it over to you. And everyone basically inside. You want to give me a hug? I thought my pits were just too smelly. Are you afraid of that getting rubbed off on you?
That was my brother. He could stand to toss some water up in there from time to time.
All right, I'll give y'all. Come here, you big old goon. Okay, careful. I'm tender. Okay. Oh, you can let me go. Let me go now. I will cast a spell on you that will make your feet all big and hairy and never fit into boots again.
I mean,
okay. While that was happening, Douglas and Double D, did you all want to do anything else while you got expelled out into the night?
There's only one person around here that ain't look sick. That's that damn kid.
That'd be worth doing a little explorating.
I'm gonna flag that kid down and be like, hey,
he comes on
heard you
over
cut a tree.
Oh, y'all heard about me, did you, huh? Yeah,
Hey.
Okay. You heard about old Percy Ray Bunch. That indeed. Y'all coming around to see the celebrity of Gilmer. Yeah.
Well,
It was a mighty big tree, I'll tell you that. It was, probably the tallest tree I ever did see. Probably the tallest tree any of the folks around here ever did fell, which is why these folks, he kind of speaks up really loudly for everyone else, these folks just don't want to talk to old Percy Ray. Because they jealous. That's why.
I done heard a few of them saying it was rotten hollow inside.
That was what?
Rotten and hollow inside.
No, it wasn't no rotten and hollow, man. It was something else. I tell you, it was something all sorts of special, man. And if anyone tells you that, man, it's still stacked up on out there by the camp, man. I can show you otherwise. They wrong. Absolutely wrong.
I don't think maybe you should show me. I'd like to see this big old tree. I used to, watch Paul cut down big trees in the day, and I have respect for someone who can fell big and
Do you
Spent
now?
some
Well,
time cutting some trees myself.
Really? Now, I know y'all probably got a few years on me, and so I don't want any kind of hard feelings. This is on account as this is the start of a beautiful friendship and such. But I believe, what they call a wunderkind or something. Like I have discovered techniques and speed with which to fell trees that these folks around here who've been doing it their whole lives can't do. And everyone's just like, "Shut up, Percy Ray, go back to sleep," and that kind of thing.
I done mighty cool right there. I done like that. Now, I got a friend of mine, Joe. He's in there talking to the old hag inside, but he's the one with mind for machines and stuff. Maybe you could show him your wonderkind things, and he can make some special contraptions. So, stack up on that.
Oh, that ain't how I did it. I just climbed on up to the very top and just cut it down piece by piece, top to bottom, just like that. That's what I did.
I mean, that is how you do it.
That is how you
It's
do
kind
it.
of fancy.
And when you're young and spry, you can get it done faster. You old coots back there, and everyone's just like, "Shut up, Percy." I tell you what, I saw you all kind of coming on in. Is that your jalopy over there?
Well, that's Joe's jalopy, yeah.
I tell you all what. You all, and he's probably around the same age as Amian. You can tell he's definitely like in the 15-ish range, maybe 16. You can see like peach fuzz is kind of coming in, but like nothing really heavy in terms of that. Other than that, fairly slight of build actually. And he's like, "I tell you what, man, you all, I'll take you if you all promise to drive me on down to Ashdown so I can get wild in the city. Maybe give me a sip of some corn liquor." And
Douglas, where are we going after this?
Somewhere.
Y'all got any corn liquor on you? You can't find any around the village. Damn, Royce just comes on through and all his guards just take it all. He loves that damn corn liquor.
I mean,
None
they
of us
kind of
can
like
have
it everywhere.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Wait,
That's true.
why didn't he done take your corn liquor?
Well, he takes everyone's. He just likes it. That's all.
He steals.
Well, I mean, he don't really come to the village all that often. He's up in his vacation places or something, whatever they call it. I don't know. But yeah, I'll tell you what. You all promised to take me down to Ashdown, and well,
Oh, we're gonna be heading that way here soon directly. I mean, I ain't see no reason why not to.
Yeah, we'll probably just need to double check it's not actually our car. Don't want to
Yeah.
promise any rides. I can't guarantee.
What was the word that he used to describe himself?
Oh, Wunderkind? That was just me using it. Probably a completely inappropriate word for the setting, but I used it nonetheless.
Okay.
Wunderkind. Just like super smart, genius young kid, basically.
And that's the
Basically
thing
Amian.
with the candy with the toys inside.
Yeah. Okay, well, you all go ahead and check, and I can take you on out there, no problem. You can't drive most of the way there. You can get a little bit of the way, but the other half, too many trees, too thick. Gotta walk the rest of the way.
All right, you
Easy to
go
get
ask
lost.
Douglas. I'm gonna stay here.
Oh,
I can't
all
go
right.
back inside. I done called the old lady a wrinkled piece of leather, and that I was going to wring her out.
Yeah, it kind of upset her a little bit.
I will say the fate of Double D is definitely in the air in this adventure now, in terms of like granny women everywhere hating him. We'll say when you go back to the hovel, that's when you see everyone starting to file on out now, Douglas.
All right.
Yeah. Just stay his times up pretty right there.
Well, we were talking to that young boy over there, and he said if we can give him a ride down to Ashdown, he'd take us to show us that tree cut down. Something to go do. Don't want to promise any rides in the jalopy, though, without talking to you first.
Like a good trade.
Okay. Back by Double D, like you can see, he's just sort of
Corn
zipping,
whiskey,
moving
though.
around.
He said he'd do it.
It's pretty much whatever anyone drinks around here. That and moonshine. he says to Double D, you see him, he's just sort of bouncing around. He's like, man, look at all these folk. Look at how lazy they are, kind of moving around. Every one of them says they're tired. Man, I don't know what they're talking about. I got more energy than I ever had, man. I feel good. The rest of them is kind of... Yeah.
They don't say they sick. Like they got some thing to them.
Yeah, they're
You
sick
ain't
with
got it?
laziness.
Tell me, you always got this much energy, or you come for after that tree?
Well, I gotta say I was probably born with this kind of energy and acumen and such. You know, I think I am a gift to the people of Gilmer, and the quality of my work that is finally being appreciated by someone.
All right. I see it. All
Jeff,
right.
did
Well,
you say there was a woman and a kid?
Yeah, there is
Outside
over
somewhere?
by the well. Yeah, they're like working on the well.
Lisa wants to wander over that way.
Okay.
And just kind of following this conversation because he's saying like, "Oh, I've always got this much energy," and
Mhm.
Luis is just going to kind of roll her eyes a little bit in their direction and kind of be like, "That true? He always got that amount of energy that you got right there."
Yeah, the woman you can see like she's got multiple like these brown braids that are kind of sticking out from underneath like her like a bandana, like, and the kid is just sort of there, and you can tell she's sort of like looks like she's playing with like a little whittled doll with like homemade, you know, it's got like strings for hair, stuff like that. She kind of turns and looks up at you, and you can tell eyes are heavy. You know, like the lids are heavy, dark rings in her eyes. She looks really tired. She also looks like her eyes are red, like she's probably been crying a lot. And she says, that boy over there is the most annoying single creature I have ever encountered in my 34 years in this holler.
I've been here for about 34 minutes and I can appreciate that.
Mm-hmm. He thinks he is just the Lord's gift to logging just 'cause he cut down a tree. Well, good for him. My husband cut a hell of a lot of them down, and he did it in far more dangerous territory, and he dead now. Now, if the Lord has mercy, that boy will be dead pretty quickly soon, so I don't have to hear him talking no more. I know that's a horrible thing to say, but I don't care. Purdy, you didn't hear Mama say that. Yes, Mama.
I can't imagine trying to deal with that level of energy and whatnot, which kind of brings me back to my question. Is he truth telling that he's always had that level of energy, or is this something new after the felling of that tree?
I don't know. He felled that tree, and now he thinks he just... he seems a little more energetic, I guess. But that might just be, like, in contrast with everyone else around here. I don't know. I'm sorry, ma'am. I'm exhausted. My little girl and I, we need to get some food. And we need to find a place to live, because old Whitaker's kicking us out. So, if you don't mind, I kind of need to get back to it.
Absolutely. We're here to see if we can try to get some answers for what's been going on here. So, thank you for your time.
Oh, what's going on here? What's going on here is that bastard Royce Whitaker is sending our poor boys deeper and deeper into the forest, getting them killed like my husband, and then, once they're dead, taking the rest of us who are still living, his kin, who are grieving, and the body not a week in the ground, and now we up and gone. That's what's happening. So if you want somebody to kind of point a finger at all the nefarious deeds that are happening, it's that son of a bitch right there.
Oh my word. He's only been gone a week and you're already losing your housing?
That's correct. He said that one of his people came by and just said, well, this hovel is for loggers only, and ain't no logger in living here no more. The insensitivity and all, if you can believe it.
You know what? I can believe anything. You tell me some evil thing that a company man did, and I will always believe you.
You hear that, Purdy? There are some decent people left here in this world. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. So
So
she'll
she-
relay to everybody else.
Yeah.
Just, yep, Whitaker is the son of a nonsense. So we have heard he is.
He's one of the big boys.
Has
too.
he been like? Has this Whitaker been like abnormally pushy to like get extra crazy all of a sudden, or has he always kind of been like this?
I mean, if you ask around, we can say. I mean, you talk to some other folks. You get kind of similar stories here and there. Some people will say that they're a little worried. Like he's actually like one of the guys you talk to. You could say like he's kind of worried about like Whitaker's getting ready to abandon the village because like the workers aren't working anymore because of the sickness or whatever. He's trying to move on out. Others are kind of surprised. Did we lose Dan? Others are kind of. Yeah, your video went out, Dan.
Yeah, I don't know why that is. OBS crashed.
Yeah.
Okay.
There you go. You're back. Yeah, and others just like he's a hard boss, like, but he's never been like a crazy boss. So, if you talk, if you ask around, you can you kind of talk with one guy. This guy who's you can kind of tell is sort of a company guy, kind of drinks the Kool-Aid a bit, and he kind of like he continues to sort of refer so like to everyone around here as like no accounts and lazy and such like that, and thinks they're faking, and if they don't kind of quit their their games, man, Whitaker's just gonna up and leave, and none of us are gonna have jobs now. You talk to others, dude in the stables, if you kind of hunt him down, the one that the Vernon and Fernan boys talked about, well, he kind of blames Whitaker specifically for like this like lethargy going around, and apparently Whitaker, there's a new woman in his life. Apparently, he's taken up with some kind of old woman, and she's filling his head with nonsense and stuff, that kind of thing. So that's like the only thing that's changed recently. So if you're asking about like changes in behavior, that's the only thing that kind of comes up as you survey the town.
That sounds pretty suspicious. Was this like a woman that used to be a part of the town, or is this like a new woman?
No one knows, actually. Yeah, no one knows, but it's just sort of like the rumor that he's taken up with an new old woman, whatever. Because Whitaker's, middle-aged type of guy, probably late 40s or so, give or take. He's got kids and everything. He's got, but he's got a new old woman or an old lady or something like that. They refer to her as.
You don't got a witch for a wife.
So, what would you all like to do?
I gotta say, anybody who's foolish enough to get a wood witch as a wife is just doing themselves.
We're gonna go look at a tree.
I think we should.
Okay. Yeah. So you get old Percy Ray. He leads you on out. You can take the car kind of like halfway there. You're driving on like calling it a path is you can tell it's probably just for like wagons and carts. Like you can tell no one really probably drives anything on here. But at a certain point, there's just so many trees. The thickets are so so heavy, and like you're constantly having to weave and swerve. It's like a little too dangerous. So you get about probably halfway there. You kind of park, and then kind of walk the rest of the way. And this is nighttime. So because you guys arrived after dark, and he's kind of taking you out there. So likely someone's got torches or lanterns, I assume, something like that. Is that fair?
Of course.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay. So yeah, the logging site he takes you to is a couple miles north of Gilmer. And yeah, when you get there, you can see like there's various like equipment and such all around, but Percy kind of points you to a very specific like clump of lumber, and like it's the tree, right? It's been chopped down and it's been stacked, and there's like a huge stump that still remains in place. You can see that the bark of the tree, it's almost black, but it's tinged with this kind of peculiar blood red hue here and there. And when you kind of compare it to the other stacks of lumber and the other trees, unfelled trees, like the pines and the chestnuts, the maples, elms, different color entirely. Like you can tell, like even those of you who aren't too familiar with this kind of stuff, it's that clear. You can also tell that like the tree itself and all of the different chunks of wood that have been stacked up from it, and there's a significant amount. There's all these like protuberances of this gnarly burl, like this like deformed tree grain and such, and would almost look like sigils kind of on it here and there. All of you kind of like, as you're sort of staring at it, it's sort of like one of those things where you just sort of kind of get lost in thought for a bit. Your eyes just sort of, maybe do a slight little movement here and there. But you can tell that like there's the sigils themselves as you're watching. You can actually see them start to alter slightly, as if like the markings are kind of ever so imperceptibly shifting. And it's almost like language maybe, but it's not like scratch or any other kind of writing you've seen. And like the hues themselves are almost like ember-like, almost like fires. And like Percy's like, as you guys are there, kind of all of you kind of getting into this like hypnotic trance a bit, you can, like you hear Percy just sort of speak up, and it like snaps most of you out of it. And he's just like, yeah, it felt like little shocks of lightning like running through me. Every time I chopped into it, I just put the axe right in, and whoo, I just got shocked,
How you done find this tree?
I mean, it was right here, the camp's right there, and just kind of wandered off a bit and everything, just picked one. I picked the biggest one I could see and climb up I did,
All right.
I need Louisa and Amian roll either an occult or a spirit test.
Oh,
Ultra
okay.
spirit.
Yeah, either of those two. The other four of you,
Face.
spirit or occult. Those are your two options. Spirit is an attribute test, or it's occult. One of the two.
Got it.
The other four, you break out of the trance once Percy starts
Oh,
talking.
whoops, I clicked on the wrong one.
But when you look over at Louise and Amy, and you can see that they're kind of lingering a little bit longer as they're looking at stuff.
5 for Louisa.
Successes, both of
I
you?
think that they
for
were
me
so
as well.
interested in lumber.
Just successes, no raises.
Correct.
Mhm.
Okay.
Did that
So,
accidentally spend a Benny for you, Louisa? Because I clicked on yours.
All right, I got it back. Thanks.
Okay, right on. So as like the talking, like you can kind of vaguely hear the talking. Like this is Louise, just still Louise and Amy. And you can hear like this vague, kind of distant talk that just sort of fades into this sort of just like a static or a hum that is just you don't even really pay attention to it as your eyes begin to sort of shift a bit and everything kind of blurs a bit in front of you as you're looking at the tree, and then suddenly it kind of crystallizes a little bit more within this fog. And both of you, you're not together or anything like this, but like you're both getting sort of the same vision. You both see a group of 12 ancient crones dancing naked around a bonfire. You can see that the fire itself is just roaring with this green flame that just kind of reaches like 10, 15 feet into the sky. You can see like their skin is this white and like thin, papery texture to it. And these blue veins are writhing around, and it's all illuminated under their skin. And you can see they kind of get down on hands and knees, and they get stood up, and you can tell they're like doing some sort of machinations, but you can't quite make out exactly what it was. And it's at that point that like you hear one of the other's voice just like cut through the vision as they're like the conversation with Percy comes back clear, and the two of you just like you're back, and you look around, you got a little touch of dizziness kind of overtakes you, but you look around and you're around your friends again. There's Percy. He's continuing to go on like, yeah, I climbed on up, I cut it, shock, cut it, shock. All the others are like, hey man, Percy, you climb on up there, you're gonna fall down and break your neck. I'm like, well, I mean, if you climbed up
you
there, you
ever
probably
stop with the talking? My word.
Oh, I'm sorry, ma'am. I thought, he kind of looks over at Double D. I thought you were all aware and you were here for an education of how to properly fell the grandest of trees.
Do I look like I'm here to learn felling? I don't.
She
think-
doesn't much care for cutting logs. Sorry.
Did any else of y'all see that?
The tree, it's right there.
The
What
weird looking marks on it.
The fire and the
Maybe
Amian, you
Old
didn't?
ladies.
Maybe you both need
Yes.
to go sit down. I mean, there was an old lady in town.
Did you eat some of them
We-
shrooms that were
we-
over on the hill there?
Now
No. Well, yes, but I don't think that's it.
we're here to look into this thing here, and boy and I both saw something, and y'all just want to move on from that. Might be
Right.
important.
I don't think I done agree with you. I mean, like, they got some weird thing going on in this town. Everybody's sick, and you got this very funky tree that, ain't right.
Was
Now-
that tree in that vision that we had?
No, it wasn't. It was specifically the weird looking crone women in the green bonfire.
Does that tree look like it was actually cut down normal like?
Oh yeah, I mean, you look at it; it's got that same like chunks at a time. It's just like they're huge chunks, and like the makeup of the tree, the grain, the color, all that stuff just looks different. And if you stare at it long enough, you start to see the grains like moving around, like there's something more to this, like sigils and writing and things.
What if this here's like the rebirth tree? Like you go on a walk, you get reborn. Maybe this here's like the tree where that reborning happens.
Mm,
That's why they're angry.
I don't believe that. Yeah.
You didn't feel like you're being like electrified when you cut the tree, like in a bad way or a good way?
Well, yeah, I felt like I got like a surge, but it wasn't like, a painful surge. It was just like, just kind of, and it kind of gives me a little oomph, and then I went a little faster, such.
It's kind of a good way then, make you feel good.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know
yeah.
that trees don't normally do that. When you cut them down, they make you tired.
Well, I mean, maybe old folk like you, but a young blood like myself, no, we get invigorated by it.
Mhm.
But so has this tree? Have you taken like the logs from this tree, and are folks like burning it for heat or cooking?
No one's doing that. I come out here, every other day or so, at night, just kind of take a look at it, just want to see it again.
You were just so prideful.
I'm
Mind if
very
we got,
proud
like,
of what I did. Every time I touch it, I just feel it,
Mind if we get like a little branch or something from it, a souvenir?
Watching Cletus just
Touch it.
Yeah, you touch it and like nothing really happens to you, but like you definitely tell like when you put the finger down, if you leave it there long enough, you do see some shifting of the sigils and the movement, and you do after a moment feel like the tiniest of like little surge of something kind of go through your finger, like very, very tiny.
I want to break off a piece of the bark and eat it.
Oh, what, man? Oh, man, you don't. Oh, you can't be taking it. This is that Whitaker proper. Oh, jeez. And you ate it. It's fine. You take a piece off and you eat it, and you're just feeling. Oof. Go ahead and roll a vigor test.
All right. Eight.
And 8. Okay, yeah, you feel like your stomach's kind of shifting a little bit around on you, but you're okay. Like you kind of, it takes a moment and then it kind of settles.
Have fun with that later on. What comes out?
Oh dear. Anybody with occult, you can roll an occult test at -2.
At -2. Okay.
-2 won't stop him.
No, it won't.
You feel like you
6.
just chugged a whole mess load of Mountain Dew. Yeah. So would you get, Amian?
6.
A 6. I think Louisa is the only other one with a cult. Is that right?
I don't have a cult.
You should have a cult.
I
I
don't.
think I checked it. I thought I checked it earlier.
You rolled it earlier. Or
You did roll it earlier.
I didn't. I have not rolled a cult.
Okay. That's
Hey,
fine.
welcome Party
Oh,
Wipe
snap.
Games.
getting raided.
Party Wipe, thank you for the raid. We are playing Holler for Savage Worlds, Appalachian folk horror. Hope you all had a good game tonight. Thank you for the raid. Let's see. You rolled a 6, Amian?
Yep.
Okay. Amian, you would suspect, again, you just pay attention a lot. Maybe people, as a kid, you listen to stories and rumors and things like that. You might suspect that this is what they call a boogeyman tree. And boogeyman trees are like, they're usually the largest trees in the holler, like 150 feet tall with like 30 feet circumference type of thing. And you can see the stump that's left is good 20 to 30 feet across. Like it is huge. And there is so much of the lumber that's been stacked up nearby. You would probably guess that, because the rumors are these are the trees, they like the strange sigils, the runes, they manifest on the bark of the tree. And there's different, groups and such around the holler, different people who might who see boogeyman trees for different things. Some of them like arcane power, rituals and stuff like that, the specifics of which you're not entirely sure of. But the idea of a tree like this with these sigils, with this size and having this effect, this sounds like what you've heard. You've probably never seen one before, but you've heard of it before, and this is likely what it is. This wasn't just any old tree.
Okay.
And likely cutting it down.
Have I heard about bad omens of them getting chopped down?
Cutting it down could have, depending on what groups or such, or that are kind of connected to it, the arcane powers that are kind of feeding out of it, if people are tapping into it or incorporating in rituals, or however it kind of connects to the other trees in the area, stuff like that, it could have a bad effect. The specifics of which is hard to say, but taking something so old and so powerful, just ripping it right out of the ecosystem like that could harm things. Yeah.
Okay. Does this tree have any sort of I don't know what kind of tree it is. Does it have pine cones or anything that has seeds for it?
No, you didn't see anything like that.
Okay.
Well, and it makes me wonder if maybe it's the kind of tree that maybe you're supposed to just you take off a branch if you need it, and the felon just that little bit gives you some extra energy boost, kind of like this young'un over here's got. But you're not supposed to take all of it for yourself. That's just selfish.
Do you sleep?
You talking to me?
Yeah.
Of course I sleep. What the hell's wrong with you? Of course I sleep.
All right.
What the hell kind of question is that? You old senile coot?
Sometimes you get so wired up, can't sleep.
Some of us just enjoy living,
Man, you know what? Tell you what, we're going to give you a second to just take in and bask in the joy and the pride of what you've done. We might need to, talk amongst ourselves a second.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine. Just be careful, man. There's bears all around here too. Sometimes they've been getting all fierce and rowdy lately. Seen a few of them. I heard them more. Just be careful,
Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of sneak up on you.
Just a foot away, get just
Ninja
a little
bears.
bit out of earshot. Here's what I'm thinking. We lie to that little shithead who won't show up. We tell him we know a place where there's the best corn liquor up in that weird place. We deliver this little bastard up to them witches. Sorry for what he done.
Ain't a terrible idea. I mean, I was just giving up that kid like that. I mean, he's young and dumb, but I don't think he deserves that right there.
Well, I mean, we can still try and say, like, we don't have to go straight into like them, like turning him inside out. Maybe he can take all that youthful energy, become their gopher.
Pull it back
Go
into
for
something.
this, go for that. Do some, time served.
That could be all right.
I share Double D's reservations about turning this young one over. I wonder if they know who did it, and that's why they hexed the whole area.
I mean, it sounds like kid doesn't shut up. I guess that doesn't mean they heard.
I mean, we all heard. We didn't even get here yet, and we already heard about it.
Yeah. It's one of the first things we done heard.
Nobody goes talks to him though. Maybe we just go talk to him first.
All right.
Just, I wouldn't want to sacrifice Amian every time he does something not so bright.
Yeah, that's not ideal.
But we always have that in our back pocket.
Sacrifice an Amian? I mean, I don't want to do that.
No, not.
So what is the plan? You guys want to do?
A ill-advised field trip to say hi to some witches?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Never goes wrong.
Real quick, everyone, I done learned something that I think might be useful to all of us, is that guard man in charge of here at this place, he done steal all the corn liquor from everyone. So we want some booze, we just got to go take it from him.
Right.
That is good to know.
All right. So
Did he say that he decided to chop down this tree on his own, or did anyone put him up to it?
I just thought I'd prove all them old folk wrong. They say, hey, Percy, you don't know what you're doing, man. You're just too knowing small. You can't do nothing. You ain't no good. And I'm like, I'm way better than you all, and I did. That's what I did. I climbed right on up top, and down it went. Yes, sir. Well, I don't know why I'm calling you sir. I'm a little older than you, I think. I'm probably a little taller, too. Yeah. You should be calling me sir. You know what? You stick with me, kid. I'll show you the ways. Stop hanging out with all these old folk around here.
Are there any stories in your area about,
I'll
big
keep that in
trees
mind.
you're not supposed to cut down?
Nah, we talking about, man, it's a logging camp. What do you mean tree you ain't supposed to cut down? Don't be silly. Cut them all down.
Like, cut all trees down. They don't got no trees left to cut down.
Well,
So you're
you
not
cut 'em
logging
down
camp
as
anymore.
you need them. You don't need to cut them down all at the same time. They grow back.
Yeah. So yeah, I think maybe we're gonna talk to them witches so we know who done cut your tree. It
That's
ain't
gonna
the
go
town.
weird. Oh, that's cool. That's cool, man. I come with
He's
y'all.
pretty cool.
Yeah, I think you should. It'd be something pretty cool. You see, break all them old timers like, hey, who out there brave enough? They're gonna see them. Be you.
That's right. That's exactly right. Yeah. I'm surprised y'all want to go up there too. That's crazy.
Well, as long as we got you here with us and them tree strapping skills, make sure you get that axe too.
That's right. Man, I'll tell you what, man. You the smartest old man I know.
Every now and then we gotta go have a good time.
Oh yeah, man. We gonna go get wild down in Ashdown. Hell yeah, we are. I heard they got speakies down there where, people get all liquored up and kill folk, man. Big old fights and stuff, brawls and things. Man, I heard some stories. Whew.
That's never happened once ever.
Oh, come on now. You can tell old Percy. Come on.
You know a secret?
What's that?
My brother Cletus over there done ripped a man nipple off of one of them gouging rings.
You what? You ripped the nipple off a fella?
Pretty impressive.
I wanted to think of a way to mark him, but I couldn't think of nothing good at the time. And he talked about my mama, and I was like, well,
You don't talk about
there
no
it
man's
is.
mama. Yeah. Yeah, you don't talk about no man's mama. Yeah. I tell you, man. Yeah. You are the... Yeah, okay. I had you all wrong, man. I thought you just a bunch of old lazy old people. No, you coming on in. You got nice old personalities and such. You ripping off people's nipples. This one right here, man. Smartest fella I know right here.
Dumb right.
Yeah. All right. So
how does Louisa feel after that vision?
I mean, you tell me. I mean, there's no lingering effects other than you saw the vision, like it was in your brain.
I just didn't know if there was like a fatigue or anything.
No, nothing like that.
I feel like Amian feels really disturbed.
Yeah.
Did not like that mental image.
You don't like a bunch of creepy. Ugh, yeah. Okay, so if you want to try to get up to weird, you don't necessarily know the exact location, so but you have like a general direction.
Hey, we got a young lad who can take us up there.
Well, I ain't never been there before, but I certainly could help lead you there. Yeah, sure, man. I can come on out in front. So if you want him to make the survival roll, I would be more than happy to roll survival.
No.
Yeah, I'm going that. Yeah, this kid, look, he's one of them like wonder eggs. Like I'm go ahead and do the thing.
I am a wonder egg. Yeah. Okay, you want me to do it? Okay.
No.
Okay.
Man,
Right,
he
Doug.
could take all that lumber there. He could build himself a wonder wall.
I don't
Be like,
get
hey, look, now here's on the wall.
it. Douglas, did you want to try to roll survival? You have a general direction and some basic clues like thickets and things and a certain amount of mileage away. Like you kind of have a general idea, but so survival test.
All right. Well, I gotta pull them all out here.
And Joe, you can, if you wanted to roll too, you got a pretty
There we
good
go.
I think, don't you?
I got a 6 and a 3.
Okay.
Yeah,
I see dice.
Oh, aren't you
Oh,
fancy?
Nice guy.
I could, and I just was like, I'll do it.
This way.
This okay? Yeah. I think he's right. It's go a little this way. Yeah. And like you could tell he's out in front and kind of getting lost a little bit. But every time like either Joe or Douglas kind of like picks up a scent, like, and you guys say something, he just says it a little louder and then like kind of takes credit for it. Like, oh yeah. You want to look out right there, man. That looks like a sinkhole right there. Be careful where
Oh,
y'all
shit.
step.
I'm glad you done pointed out. I'll break my leg. I'm a big guy. I fall slow. It hurt all the way down.
Yeah, it will. You don't want that noggin getting hit,
Yep.
Okay. So, yeah, you guys, with that roll, it's...
Character Joe's throwing a word in here every now and again. Succeeded as well.
Yeah, so the two Joe and Douglas are kind of leading the way, and then Percy is like popping in to sort of take credit as best he can. But for the most part, you guys, it's decently simple travel. You hear the sounds of like thunder in the distance, and so you can tell like there's this kind of a storm brewing. More than once, you hear the sounds of like shufflings of animals, and you see shadows kind of moving about, and that's just like, oh man, that's one of them bears I was telling you about. I want to be careful. I don't think they're gonna come. There's too many of us around here. Too many of us. They ain't gonna come up on us, and if we did, one of y'all, you rip his nipple off or something. Yeah. Yeah. You ever wrestle a bear?
I met a man who I believe his mother had relations with the bear.
Oh, okay.
Maybe a half bear,
Yeah, I wrestled a half bear.
Okay.
man bear.
Man bear.
Pig.
He was a pig of a man. It's true.
Eventually, you all kind of push through this horrible, like this really dense kind of briny thicket, brambly thicket, kind of like. But Douglas and Joe, you're a little bit out in front. There's two of you notice, first of all, that there is this greenish light in the distance, and you can see kind of flickering up and sort of coloring some of these tall trees and huge bushes and these like shacks and hovels and stuff here and there. So that's the first thing you notice, and you think this is probably the place. But the second thing you notice is that you hear first, and then you kind of see as you track, the sound and figure out where it is. There's three folks kind of sitting around and hiding in the bushes, and you can see that they're gawking at the center of this little mini village here, and they're watching like some weird thing that's happening. And like Douglas, you and Joe, you kind of look over, and you can see there's like there's people. You're a distance away, but there's a big old green campfire thingy, and there's like shadows and stuff kind of moving around it. And you can hear like the three folks that are talking, like kind of whispering around in the brush. They're kind of like arguing over what to do. You can't quite make out all the details of what they're saying, but you do at one point kind of hear one of them say, like, man, we got to do what Whitaker tells us to do, man. We can't be hiding around here. He told us to come on up here. We got to take these folks out. And another one's like, man, you lost your mind. You lost your mind, man. He's lost his mind, man. He's consorting with a witch. Now you want us to attack them? Man, he sent more people out here. And then, like, the next one comes in like, no, man. I am not interested in shooting up folks' spooky grandmas. And, like, you can tell, like, they're arguing amongst themselves. And that's what you and Joe hear and see as you approach. What would you like to do?
We would just want to go up there and, like, I'll get up right next to him and be like, I don't know about you guys, but I don't want to find no spooky grandmas either.
Yes.
Okay.
I hear if you fight spooky grandmas, you don't get no peppermints anymore, and they go and put hexes on your cows and such. And
That's true. That's true. Is that the tact you take? Do you just like sneak up on them right behind them?
Yeah. I could roll it if you want to, but
No. It's too funny. That's gotta happen. Okay, so you walk right up behind him in the bush, and you have the same kind of view that they have. You don't really see everything too closely. You just see the shadows and the big old green flame and some hovels and things. But you say that, right to them, and you're like, oh, what the? And like they start fumbling around, like what looks like they've got like guns and weapons and stuff. They look up at you, man. What are you doing, man? I'm about to blow your head off. What the hell? You don't sneak up on a man like that.
God, I like
while
my
he's staring
head
at a
where
bunch
it's
of crazy
at.
witches. And he kind of looks up at you like, man, you ain't our reinforcements, man. Who the hell are you? And he kind of like walks again.
For one thing, I like my head where it's at. I appreciate you don't shoot it off. Me and my friends came up to watch some spooky witches do spooky witch. Oh, sorry. We came up to watch the spooky witches do spooky witch things. But if you shoot them all, we can't do that.
But why are you up here? Who the hell are you? Y'all from Gilmer?
Yeah. Came from out of town.
why do you call them all spooky witches? Do you know them?
Look at them, man. Man, it's green fire, man. And there's like, look at them. They're like crawling around on the ground and such. Like, you can't
just
make it out.
Throwing a little bit of copper in the fire. You've never seen green fire before? I mean, I can make purple fire. I can make red fire. I can make blue fire.
Man,
it's no big deal.
What the hell are you talking about,
Here,
man?
I'll tell you what. They're not so spooky if you introduce yourself. Excuse me.
What?
Hello.
And
Hi.
you, as
Joe just
Joe,
walks towards.
Joe, you get to the edge of like this village, and you take a step, and all 12 of these paper, kind of like white paper thin, illuminated skin, they all turn, and they hiss at you.
Rather pleasant. He's like,
Man, you weren't kidding. That is mighty spooky.
They're calling you spooky. I don't think you're spooky. I think they just need to know you. Hi, I'm Joe. You want me to make a spirit test?
Oh no, it doesn't matter. That's not going to do anything. Actually, you do need to make a spirit test for fear. Yeah, make a fear test. That's a good point.
So is it just?
It's just spirit.
Clicking your spirit? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's just a spirit roll. That's fine.
How close is this scene to my vision I had earlier?
Very close. Like you don't see it too. You can't see what they're doing exactly, but like definitely they are. This looks like it. Like there's a bunch of old women crawling around. There's a big old green fire.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's pretty clear. Joe, like you managed to steal yourselves despite the hissing, but as you're still kind of there, like hi, I'm Joe.
Joe's not judging.
Okay. As you're doing that, you see a burst of green like energy, like as like one of them sort of moves their weird kind of gray white arm around, and you see like just with their hand they just kind of scoop up this chunk of green fire and just hurl it directly at Joe as he gets too close to them for comfort. This is gonna be all right.
Joe, looks like they don't want any company.
Okay, they're spooky.
All right. did get a raise.
Ugh.
Uh-oh.
Sorry. So it's 3d6. It's 8. No raise yet.
we come back and see
11. You watch as you step into and getting very close to the ring of this as this green flame flies out and ignites on Joe's clothes. Joe, take 11 points of damage.
Oh my goodness.
And you just
Can I
leave.
soak that?
Yes, of course. Yeah. So roll your vigor. Now it's just one of the 12.
Yeah. So that's a 7.
How was your roll?
Roll 7.
Let's see. What was your toughness? I did 11 points
6.
of damage, which was
Toughness is
enough
6.
for. So yeah, you should be fine. So you do manage to soak it. Like your clothes get singed, but like you kind of pat the flames out, but none of it actually kind of gets down in because it's enough to soak the one wound, which would have just left you shaken. So it even takes shaken away. But yeah, you are. You are burst into flames by one of them, and then you can see as like all of the others are beginning to kind of do sort of the same thing, like invader, get away.
I'm running back.
I don't know about
They're
you.
spooky. Go ahead, shoot. They're spooky.
I don't know about shooting. I think we probably run away.
So once Joe runs just maybe even 10, 15 steps away, you can see they all kind of calm back down. And it was just more like they got close and then they kind of go back to whatever it is they were doing a moment prior. And one of the guys is like, man, your friend's crazy, man. They're going to kill him. What the hell? Running in like that.
Do you want to start shooting grandmas that you don't know for sure they spooky?
Man,
I mean, that's some kind of sin right there. Shooting down grandmas.
I just said I don't want to go shooting spooky I specifically said that. And then the other one's like, and I ain't listening to what Whitaker, man. That boy's gone crazy, man. He's the one consorting with a witch, man. He ain't thinking straight, man. We got to get the hell out of here. And then the last one's like, man, we got to do what he says, man. We can't. All right.
Do you want to get caught on fire by a spooky grandma?
Where is Whitaker?
And he kind of look, what?
Hold on.
Not here. You ain't gonna get me. We ain't gonna tell you. We don't know who you are, little boy.
But what's he been telling y'all to do?
Roll a persuasion test, Louisa.
Okay. I will Benny that.
Okay.
Because that was a 3.
Mm-hmm.
That's a 5.
Okay. He said that we got to come on down here and we got to take him out. That's what it is. We sent some other folks down here to try to take him out and it didn't work. And now he's sending us and it's our turn. And then the other two are like, but I don't want to take him out now, man. I ain't dealing with you. Just saw what did that. Set that guy on fire, man. It's amazing he ain't dead.
If he's with a witch, why is he sending you to go get other witches?
I don't ask a big boy what he does, man. He tells me what to do. I do what he says.
What other kind of stuff has he been having you do lately? Like this kind of crazy stuff?
No, I mean, usual stuff. Just, making sure loggers are doing their work and then making sure loggers aren't doing their work. Once they started all kind of screwing things up and everything, taking equipment away and making sure they ain't kind of, feeding any sort of uprising revolutionary type of ideas down in Gilmer, that kind of thing.
And then just suddenly out of nowhere, he wants you to come take care of these folks up here?
Man, I hear the attitude in your voice, but I don't think you understand that we just do what we're told. We are supposed to do what we're told, but man, I told you. One of the other ones talks like, man, I told you. Man, he's just he's not right no more, man. You consort with witches, man. They get in your head and they do all sorts of things. She's probably got some sort of spell on him, is what I think it is. She's all up in there making him do weird things. And what I think's happening, there's like a witch civil war or something, like the one he's shacking with is getting all his people like us to come here and take out all her enemies and such. And the other one just kind of looks over and just smacks him in the back of the head. Man, shut up, stupid.
I bet it was more like they're playing a spooky game of bridge, and one of them got pissed off from losing, and now they're taking it out on him.
Well, I don't think maybe, you might be on to something, maybe, things happening, tree got chopped down, things weird, like there's a lot of connected dots, but if he's gone stealing corn alcohol and then got spooky witch all up in the business, maybe, maybe we go punch one witch instead of trying to punch 12.
So as you guys are...
We even going to try and talk to these witches? Sorry.
Okay.
Maybe not tonight.
Just talk to them from a ways off and be like, hey, I got witches.
It might work.
They were none too friendly. None friendly.
Hey,
I
now,
was
we
just saying
don't
hello,
even...
introduce myself, and they turned around and they go all, on me.
Yeah, you came up on quick. You got to announce your presence.
No, I announced myself plenty of time. Yelled out
that's
to
right.
them, said who I was.
I startled him like a cat.
We don't even know these assholes.
Okay, so as you guys are sort of talking at
How
this
many-
point at a
Are
fairly
there
high...
three of them?
There's three of these guards, like these Whitaker guards. There are 12 witches.
Okay.
Definitely got us outnumbered.
So,
Guys, yeah, go ahead. If you have something, go ahead. Joe. Or you
I wanted to ask the one. So, because they mentioned there were other guards that were sent out to do stuff. Like,
Mhm.
do they not come back when they were sent out to dispose of witches before?
Nope, they did not. I mean, a few of them did, but they were burnt to all sorts of different forms of crispiness,
Hmm.
and confused and such.
I almost wonder if it's not like a Civil War thing. He's just like sending you guys to die because he's just listening to this witch.
And like
It's
the
3
one
versus 12s.
See, the little boy said, man, that's some sense right there, man. That's some sense right there. Why are we listening to a fella when he's letting a witch control him and letting them do whatever, man? He's just getting us all killed is what he's doing because he's our boss. So that's why. And if we don't do what he says, then he's going to like make all our families and such unwell. That's what he's going to do, man. Like that's just how this works.
Who's,
So like
if he wasn't the boss, who would be the boss then?
Probably one of his kids.
How old is kids?
I don't know. Oldest one's probably like, I don't know, 20, something like that.
How old is the youngest one?
I don't know. I think he's got like, I mean, he ain't got no babies that I know about, but I think he's got one that's like 7, 8, something like that. Little chittin'.
I can do that. All right.
They kind of like, what do you mean you can do that?
I mean, root and stem.
And you can see like they're like kind of carefully sort of reaching for like, are you saying you gonna kill his kin? You joking, right? This is some
I don't
kind
think
of
that's
like
what he was saying.
macabre
No,
humor,
man.
right?
I think he's
Just
more
his
like
words.
talking about, running them out or something like that, maybe.
Yeah, all right, we'll go with that.
And maybe, there's if he's got kids that are like young kids, then we got to protect him from the witch. So it's like extra reason to take care of stuff. Make sure there aren't any little ones that are in danger from him being with a witch.
We're all like kind of doing some calculations and such. Thinking, like looking at each other, looking at you all. And that is all interrupted as the witches have like heard you all and you're kind of like making a lot of noise as the argument's happening. There's a good like 10 people that are like conversing over here, like just outside of the range of the village. And you see these like chucks of like bolts of like green flame that are like landing at the feet of everyone. The very thicket that these two have been hiding behind just bursts into flames. But you notice two things. First, you notice that of all of you, only one of you isn't getting kind of bombarded by flame. And that's Louisa. Everyone else is just getting lit up. Either your packs are getting lit up, your hair, or it's landing in the ground in front of you. And the second thing you notice is that when you look over, and you look at old Percy Ray. He suddenly screams this horribly, excruciatingly, absolutely painful scream. And you watch as he just goes... as he goes through this hideous body horror transformation.
That ain't right. That ain't right.
You're right.
Tufts of hair begin to like split out underneath his skin. His clothes like rip apart and fall. Like you can see muscle and tissue begins to grow. Arms and bones begin to sort of bend and twist, and he like falls like, you know, on all fours on the ground.
Some sort of monster been wearing a Percy suit.
After a good 30 seconds, you see that he has turned into about a 600-pound black bear. And that is where we will end tonight.
Whoa!
Excuse me, witches, but we got a bigger problem over here.
We were supposed to talk.
Oh, goodness.
Okay. Right on.
That's
Why
bad.
Why not?
That's
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah.
Does
why
anyone
not?
speak bear?
I speak fist.
All right. We got pretty far. I think we might be able to finish this in two. I was hoping we can start getting these acts down into 2 sessions, and I think we've got far enough that we probably can. So that's cool. Let's do a little closing roundtable here. I know a lot of us don't really have a lot going on this week for different reasons, but let's just do our normal plugs and everything so that people know where to find everyone. Chuck, tell us about Defenders.
That's me. Yeah, no Defenders this week. We usually find us over on twitch.tv/Defenders of Kobold because, I'm going to Gen Con. So there ain't nothing happening there. But if you want to get something good in you, Jeff dropped a link. Go check out the adventure that we're putting out that I wrote called The Kids Aren't All Right. It's fantastic and amazing and, has everything you would expect from Defenders of Kobold style action.
Oh, God.
It's very good. Go
All
pick
right.
it up.
Let's see. Jeremy, tell us about this Patreon.
Yeah, Aaron Reese on Patreon. You've got comics, art, 5e assets, maps, tokens. It's a good time.
Perfect. Bert, Steam Still Murder.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on this week either, but I think Tuesday we're doing some first edition Dungeons and Dragons. Friday will be BX Dungeons and Dragons. This Saturday I'd normally be running some Weird Frontiers on the official Goodman Games channel, but folks are going to be gone. So there's probably going to be a Call of Cthulhu or something very similar, an impromptu game going on Saturday night.
Right on. As for us here at the Lollygaggers, we are also off for different reasons. So no Friday Mothership, no Saturday One Ring, and no Deadlands next Monday. We will be back at the end of next week. So our next game will be Hunter, which is like about 2 weeks, like the 2 Fridays from now. That'll be the next game we stream. But we do have plenty of stuff over on the YouTube page. So if you want to go ahead and check that out, all sorts of different games up there. Also, beginning tomorrow, going to start dropping some of our older games in podcast form. So we're going to start with One Ring. So I'll put some links out on the social medias and such in case you always wanted to listen to One Ring, but didn't want to do it on YouTube or Twitch. So we'll have a different option for you. But thanks for everyone who hung out tonight. Thank you to Party Wipe for the raid earlier. Thank you to those of you who are watching this later on VOD or on YouTube, or maybe in the distant months to come on podcast form. We're going to go ahead and raid somebody. So follow the raid. We're going to go ahead and raid Vorpal Tales. It looks like they're doing something this Monday night. Have a good rest of your week. Those of you who are going to Gen Con, have fun, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.